Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Jim Blim. And Jim Blim writes to ask my opinion of fusionist movements within Wicca. And he cites, for example, Kemetic Wicca, which uses Egyptian themes. And he cites several others that I don't necessarily remember off the top of my head, but there are many, many of them. And he goes on to say that some people feel that this is a natural process of evolution, while others feel that it merely is confusing the true nature of the religion, and he would like to know my opinion. And of course my opinion is based entirely on the particular kind of Wicca that I practice, which is Correllian Wicca. And I'll probably give away my answer by pointing out that in Correllian Wicca we have a saying, which is that Correllianism is a lens through which all things may be seen. And our belief is that literally all things can be looked at through a Correllian lens. So we have strict Correllians, we have Buddhist Correllians, we have Christian Correllians. There could be all kinds of different Correllians. We have Icean Correllians. Virtually anything, with very few exceptions, could become fused with Correllianism, so to speak. However, we would not regard this as a fusion. Rather, we would look at it as being inspired by these different things seen through a Correllian lens. So obviously I think it's a good thing, but then you have to bear in mind I come from a background that believes that Wicca began from heterogeneous roots, that the origins of Wicca are many and various, and not a single place in time nor a single person. So we would say it's been a fusionist movement from the start, so it makes perfect sense that it should still be one. We also feel that the ability to look at all things is very, very important on a spiritual path. And the idea that your spirituality is just this tiny little thing, in our opinion, is rather stifling. And we look at it as being a very large thing. So my opinion is that if people are inspired by different practices from time or around the world, I see no reason they should not adapt them. I don't personally necessarily see that as fusion. I see it as inspiration, but either way, I don't see it as a bad thing. Now, how they do it might be a bad thing, but that they do it is not, and I believe it can be done very well. But that has to do with the individual people and their individual practices, but the idea, I think, is in fact one of the great strengths of this movement, and one of the reasons why it is a hope for the future. Because one of the things I understand about Wicca, about Correllian Wicca at least, is that you don't necessarily have to give up what you love from your other religions you have belonged to, because it's all different ways of seeing and dealing with spirit. And so if you want to bring along those things that you're attached to, unless they conflict with our teachings, we don't really have an issue with it. So obviously we think it's fine, and in a world that's had so much war over religion and over the idea of rejecting one religion in favor of another, I personally think that a religious philosophy which does not require you to reject your previous religion or other religions you might be attracted to, but rather can embrace everything, in my opinion, is quite advanced and offers real hope for the future. So those would be my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be. Reverend Don, super omnibus of incantations and invocations for all occasions. Marianne Kay and I created this massive compendium of magic and artwork for you to use in any way that you would like. There are literally hundreds of spells and hundreds of illustrations, which can be mixed and matched and used in many different ways. Check it out now at witchghoulstore.com.